the history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball. It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
It's the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on a beautiful Tuesday night from southeastern Iowa. We're in Burlington to take on the Bees, who have now whipped us 4 straight times, including last night's series opener, a thrilling 2-1 Burlington victory. It was the 28th one-run game played by this Kernel Ball Club out of 75. So one thing for sure, the Kernels have been in virtually every one of their games this season. Last night, no exception. Tommy Mendoza pitched a dynamite game. The Kernels scratched and clawed their way for a run in the top of the ninth to tie it, but the Bees won it on a triple and single in the bottom of the ninth inning, and they won for the first time in the second half. The Kernel record now is 2 wins and 3 losses. It's our pleasure for the first time since he's joined us on this road trip to welcome Australian Josh Davies to the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Josh, you're only 20 years old. You've got the world by the tail. You've got that Australian accent that intrigues everyone. And congratulations on joining this ball club and making such an immediate positive impact. Did you know coming out of extended spring training that you were ready to play at this level?
I always thought that I was ready, but I never got the chance, really. So once I did get the chance, I couldn't ask for a better start, really. So I'm pretty happy about it at the moment.
You drove in the only run in our win in Game 2 of our series in Fort Wayne, a 1-0 win. Then you hit a 2-run homer the next night. Josh, as a little boy, what sorts of activities did you grow up doing in Australia? How early did you start playing baseball?
I started playing baseball when I was 5. I jumped in between sports. I played basketball, tennis, baseball. Baseball was always number 1, though, so that's about all I really did.
Your country, with former Colonel Nick Kimpton on the squad, made big news in the Athens Olympics just a couple of seasons ago. Australia garnered a silver medal in the Olympic Games, Josh. How old were you, and how involved were you and your family watching the Australians do so well in the Athens, Greece Olympics?
I was actually on the 40-man squad for the Olympic Games. Didn't make the final squad, though. But we didn't really get much coverage of the baseball, so we didn't really get to watch it that much. So I looked on the internet to make sure everything was going all right. So that's about the only real coverage I got of that.
So the games themselves, not that many of them were televised live back to Australia. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they were on delayed telecast most of the time at 4 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. But I was still playing in the Arizona League at the time, so I didn't only really could check on the internet to see how the boys were going.
And that opportunity to make the 40-man squad, who were some of the names besides Nick Kimpton that our listeners might recognize who represented your country so well in the recent Olympics?
Not so much in the Olympics, but Michael Collins in the World Baseball Classic. He played here for a couple of years.
Sure, Michael played with us as recently as last year. So Michael Collins represented Australia in the World Baseball Classic just this past spring.
Yeah, he was one of the. I think there was 2 or 3 catches in that, and he was one of them. So he scored against Venezuela.
Is Dave Nilsson a big name still in your home country of Australia? I've heard that he's come back and tried to start a professional baseball league in Australia. Where is Dave Nilsson, and is there a professional baseball league spawning in Australia?
There is no professional baseball league at the moment. There has been in the past, but there wasn't much money behind it, not much of a fan base. Dave Nilsson in the baseball community is a rather big name in Australia, but just in normal communities around Australia, you would not get noticed walking down the street.
Wow, so you know him and you respect him in the baseball world, does in Australia, but he's not a national hero.
No, not at all. He could walk down the street, no problem. Same with Graham Lloyd.
The left-handed pitcher.
Yep, that's it.
Josh, what about who would be nationally known in Australia? Would it be somebody who plays Australian rules football? Would it be a rugby player? Would it be one of your athletes playing in the World Cup soccer tournament? Who would be nationally known as an athlete?
Majority of the cricket players, I'd say, would be number one, and a lot of AFL football stars. Everybody knows who they are. So,
and football is soccer or rugby in Australia?
Australian rules football.
And that's where guys, unlike our NFL, they don't wear shoulder pads, helmets, and gear. They're the guys that you see probably get their nose broken 10 or 12 times and are really tough guys.
Yeah, that's the one. They don't wear any pads or helmets. They just go at it for an hour and see who wins.
Josh Davies is with us. You can tell he's a very composed and poised and laid-back Australian off the field. On the field, Josh, you have what every Australian I've ever seen in our organization. I've seen two, Kimpton and Collins. You guys have a extra spark, that mentality of what we call in the States a hard-nosed grinder-type mentality. Is that part of your culture, or is it just coincidence that most Australian professional baseball players have that extra sharp desire to compete?
I think it's just the competition that we play. There's a lot of you play hard for the game. Once you get in between the lines, you play hard, and I think that's the way it is in all sports in Australia. Yeah.
Including cricket. Now, I'd asked Michael Collins and Nick Kimpton about cricket. They've each dabbled in it. Is it your national sport, and have you ever played it?
It's most definitely a national sport. Probably draws the biggest crowds, but I've never had the chance of playing. I've always stuck with baseball.
Is it considered a rich man's sport? Is it why didn't you play it?
I wouldn't say it's a rich man's sport. The guys on the team get paid pretty well, but nowhere near as much as what the baseball players in the Major League get paid at the moment. So,
I think you made the wise choice.
Yeah, at the moment, it's looking pretty good. So.
You're only 20 years old. You come to a country that is we're very similar in our democracies and in our way of living in some ways. In some ways, we're vastly different from Australia. Were you homesick?
For the first whole year I was here, I was pretty homesick. But once you sort of get to know a couple of people and you get some good friends over here, then it becomes a lot easier.
I remember being homesick, Josh, when I went away to school for the first time, and I would describe it as almost, the word sick is pretty appropriate. I kind of had a lump in my throat, and my heart just felt differently, and I did feel very lonely and out of sorts. I know you just said you made friends, but did you spend time questioning whether this was right for you? Did you email your folks back home every day? How did you deal with it?
I spent a lot of time on the phone with Mum and Dad, and they sort of pointed me in the right direction, told me I was doing the right thing, and gave me encouragement. So, but for the whole spring training, I was kind of wondering whether I should be here or not. But Mum and Dad they pushed me in the right direction, gave me encouragement, and I'm glad they did.
Makes a world of difference, doesn't it?
Indeed, and having their support makes a big difference.
Well, I had the same thing in my experience, and I was still in the United States. I was several thousand miles from home, but I was still on the continental U.S. soil. And Josh Davies is with us. We're going to wrap up our South Slope Communications Triple Play show with the Australian newcomer, and we'll do that after this from Community Field in Burlington on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners, we make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information.
digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Josh Davies is telling us about his background. He's had a fabulous start for the Kernels in his first week. And, Josh, one thing I've noticed already, you're multidimensional. You've played third base, first base, and second base. How did you learn how to do that in Australia?
I never really learned how to do it in Australia. I signed as a shortstop when I was 17. I played my first season at shortstop, and I played a couple of games at third base. And then last year I moved into playing second base and first base, and I played a little left field last year as well. So I've been working on that pretty well. So I mean, it's all panned out pretty well.
The Angels seem to have found a fella who is open to coaching. Is that how you receive instruction?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I respect all the coaches that we have in our organization. You know, they've all come from different backgrounds, and they've all been through it, so they've got some good experience. So, obviously, they're going to know the game a lot better than what I am, so I'm all ears at the moment.
Josh, with the World Cup unfolding, it was a big disappointment for our United States team not to make it out of their pool. The Australians did a bit better. Where would soccer rank next to cricket and Australian rules football? Where does soccer rank?
I mean, it's up there for younger kids because you can play at such a young age. And, I mean, there's a national competition and everything, so it's pretty popular. So.
And what part of Australia are you from?
I'm from a little country town about 2 hours outside of Melbourne called Bendigo. And I grew up there all my life. I lived out sort of on a little farm. So.
What do your folks do?
My mum owns a gas station, and Dad is a special children carer.
And finally, your mom opening a gas station. How much is a gallon of gas in Australia? We get complaints here to our politicians when it gets up to close to $3 a gallon. How much is it in Australia?
I have no idea what the conversion would be, but I think it's about $1.40 a litre at the moment, so I'm not really sure.
And I'll try to go to work on my metric scale and figure out what that would be. Josh Davies, thank you so much. We have a $5 gift certificate to Zio Giano's for the best Italian food in all of eastern Iowa. Your teammates will tell you that nothing tops the Italian taste and goodness, homemade bread, pasta, pizza, spaghetti at Zio Giano's Italian Spaghetti House. Josh Davies, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, John.
That's Australian Colonel newcomer Josh Davies. He's made a big positive impact on this ball club with his energy, his versatility, and as you can hear, his composed yet upbeat manner. Up next, I'll have the starting lineups. Game 2, Kernels and Bees from Burlington. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We have a gorgeous Tuesday evening in Burlington, Iowa, where the Kernels are playing their 6th game of a 7-game road swing that has started the second half of the season. After splitting 4 in Fort Wayne, the Kernels came in here last night and got 8 sterling innings from 18-year-old right-hander Tommy Mendoza, who allowed only 1 run on 3 hits in 8 innings. The Bees won it in the bottom of the 9th inning in dramatic fashion, 2-1, sending the Kernels to our 2nd straight loss in a row. Our record now in the second half stands at 2 wins and 3 losses. The Bees got got in the win column for the first time with last night's victory. They're 1-4. Jim Gabella and Bobby Magallanes, the respective managers of each ball club, have already turned in the lineup cards to the umpires. Let's set the starting lineups for the sixth meeting between our two ball clubs. Burlington took 3 of 4 from us earlier this month in June at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and then won again last night, so they've taken 4 of 5 from our ball club. Speedster Jose Duarte, who has 16 steals and 20 tries, leads it off. He's in center field for the Bees. Batting second is Valentino Arce, A-R-C-E. Arce will play second base. Batting third, he had 3 hits last night, including the game winner in the bottom of the ninth inning, former Wisconsin Timber Rattler Carlos Arroyo in right field. The cleanup batter for the Bees didn't play in last night's series opener. He's second to our own Brad Kuhn in stolen bases with 23. Cleanup man Mario Lasone for the Bees will be at third base. At first base, it's Miguel Vega batting fifth. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter, Brady Everett. Jeff Howell tripled and scored the game-winning run with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth last night. Howell will catch again this evening and bat seventh. Hitting eighth is Chris McConnell, the shortstop, and batting ninth, the speedster in left field, Ethan Santana. On the hill for Burlington is Carlos Rosa. Rosa is a 6'1", 185-pound right-hander from the Dominican Republic. The right-hander was injured all of last year, had to go undergo Tommy John surgery. Carlos Rosa is 6-4 this year with a 3.16 ERA. He had a 5-game winning streak snapped to start the season's second half here at Community Field this past Thursday. He was an 8-4 loser to the West Michigan Whitecaps. Carlos Rosa, a 6'1 right-hander with a 3.16 ERA, making his 15th start of the season, no complete games. He pitched against us back on June 5th at Veterans Memorial Stadium, a no decision in a B6-5 win. That's the Burlington order. As always, Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Kernels starting lineup. Allen Motor Company invites you to visit their sprawling, beautiful 13-acre campus in Hiawatha, just off I-380, the Boyson Road exit, where you can buy a 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom for, get this, just $199 per month. That 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom is plush, lush, and affordably priced for just $13,890, plus your first year's maintenance is free at Allen Motor Company. The Bees hit the diamond, and we'll give you the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup after the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. The sun is shining. It's a gorgeous 82 degrees, and let's pause to honor America here at Community Field with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars fill the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red there upon the bursting in air came through the night. Now flag was still there. Oh, sailors that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the
That's the singing of the national anthem here from Community Field in Burlington, where it's a gorgeous, sunny Tuesday night. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, leading off the league's leading base stealing artist, Brad Kuhn, with 27 steals. He's riding a 19-game hitting streak. Clint Whipke will catch this evening and bat second in the Allen Motor Company order. Batting third, switch hitting shortstop, Heinley Stacia. Mark Trumbo playing for the first time since Friday night in Fort Wayne. Trumbo is at first base, hitting cleanup. Josh Davies, our South Slope Communications Triple Play show guest, is playing his fourth different position in this his fifth game as a Colonel. He's in left field tonight, batting fifth. Hitting sixth, Jordan Renz, the designated hitter. The second baseman in the Allen Motor Company starting lineup, bats seventh, Larry Infante. Dallas Morris will hit eighth and play at third, and batting ninth in right field, Stantrell Smith. On the hill is All-Star Nick Adenhart. He's making his 16th start of the year. The 19-year-old, a 9-2 record to lead the Midwest League. Nick is second in innings pitched with 98. He's struck out 93 in 98 innings. That's the third highest total in the league. Nick Adenhart with a minuscule ERA of 2.11, the third lowest earned run average in the league. On the hill, completing the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup. Our umpires are sponsored by Anderson & Brown Eye Care, your comprehensive full-service eye care center, I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. You can have your eyes examined at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. It's easy in, easy out. The exam rooms and the entire building are wheelchair accessible. They have Saturday and evening hours for your convenience at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Our umpires, Clint Fagan behind the plate, F-A-G-A-N, and on the bases, Isaiah Ike Boykins. Carlos Rosa is ready to go. The 6'1", 21-year-old right-hander is 6-4 on the year, and he's pitching against Brad Kuhn. Brad had 2 hits last night, including a leadoff single in the ninth inning. He then scored the game-tying run with 2 out and 2 strikes on Jordan Renz, and that was a short-lived tie as the Bees won it in the bottom of the ninth. Ball 1 low to Kuhn, and now a fastball on the outside corner evens the count to the left-handed Colonel leadoff batter with the 19-game hitting streak. Brad is hitting .265, no homers, 18 RBIs. And there's a blistering fastball on the outside corner for strike 2 from Carlos Rosa to Brad Kuhn. Brad has had great success against the Bees in the 5 meetings between our 2 ball clubs. He's 6 for 17. Left-handed hitter, he's in the hole 1-2. Brad Kuhn grounds it to second base. Easy for Valentino Arce. On to first and 1 away here in the Colonel first inning as Brad Kuhn wrapped it on the ground to second. And that brings up catcher Flint Whipke. Whipke has had phenomenal success against Burlington this year. He's 8 for 20. Overall, Flint is batting .264. He was 1 for 3 last night. He doubled in the first inning and walked in the ninth inning. 1 away here in the Colonel first inning as Flint takes a breaking pitch low and outside. It is a gorgeous Tuesday night for baseball, and we're glad you're with us here on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. A fastball rides upstairs to Flint, ball 2. Burlington is 19-19 at home on the year, 17-17 on the road. 36-36 overall. The Bees finished third in the 8-team Western Division first half standings with an outstanding record of 35-33. Check that, they finished at 35-32. Strike 1 called to Flint. Right-handed hitter with a homer and 19 RBIs, and Flint powders the 2-1 pitch foul down the right field line. Beyond the 8-foot-high plywood wall in left field and all around the plywood wall is a thick grove of trees, a forest area. Flint takes ball 3, low and outside, a Carlos Rosa fastball. Flint Whipke steps out. He's using a maroon or burgundy-colored bat. Colonels in their gray road uniforms with red socks, red numbers. A worm burner to the shortstop. Chris McConnell has it and gets rid of it in a flash and gets Flint Whipke. Flint Whipke rolls out to short. 2 gone here in the Colonel first. And the batter, Heinley Stacia. Heinley, the all-star switch-hitting shortstop, has his average at .272. Stacia singled his first 2 trips up last night. And Heinley is riding a 4-game hitting streak. Stacia 2 for 4 in last night's game. 2 away, nobody on for the Colonels here in the top of the first inning. On this beautiful Tuesday night. Change up, and it's a strike call to Heinley Stacia. Heinley batting left-handed. Lays off a fastball upstairs for ball 1. The third baseman who didn't play in last night's series opener, 6'4" Mario Lasone is playing way off the line for Stacia, the switch hitter batting left. Heinle tags it foul down the left field line. Over the B bullpen down the left field line. It's 338 down the left field line here at Community Field, 318 down the right field line, 403 to dead center. Stacia taps one over the hill, and gliding to his left is McConnell, and Chris McConnell throws out Heinle Stacia on a chopper over the mound. 3 ground ball outs, induced by Carlos Rosa, the B right-hander. The Kernels go in order in the top of the first inning, and after one half inning, at Community Field, it's the Kernels nothing, the Bees coming to bat. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
The Kernels had 3 ground ball outs in the top of the first inning. Nick Adenhart, facing the Bees for the second time this year, is making his 16th start of the year. The right-hander leads the Midwest League with an outstanding record of 9-2 and an ERA third lowest of 2.11. Nick pitched well in the first game of the second half Thursday night in Fort Wayne, and no decision in a Kernel 3-2 loss in 12 innings. The first pitch to right-handed hitting Jose Duarte is high for ball 1. Duarte, 0-for-2 last night, walked, advanced to second on a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, stole third and scored. The right-handed hitting Duarte watches a Nick Adenhart fastball go right across the plate for a strike. Jose Duarte from Venezuela is a right-handed hitter. He's 5'9", 160. Ball 2 is upstairs from Nick, a fastball. Nick Adenhart, his only rough outing of the season came against these Bees earlier this month on June 4th. He was shelled and lost 13-4. Here's a high drive into center. Brad Kuhn broke back, now trots in 2 steps and makes the catch. Jose Duarte flies to center, 1 away here in the Bee first inning. In Nick Adenhart's first start of the second half last Thursday in Fort Wayne, he went 7 1/3 against the Wizards, allowed only 2 runs on 9 hits, struck out 4, walked 2. In his subpar outing against the Bees on June 4th at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Nick misses low to Valentino Arce, ball 1, a right-handed batter. Adenhart's start on June 4th against these Bees, he went 2 innings, allowed 9 runs, 7 earned on 9 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. Arce takes a fastball in for a strike. Valentino's batting .224. No homers, 12 RBIs. And Arce spells his last name A-R-C-E. He's only 5'10", and a changeup is low to Valentino Arce. .224 hitter, no homers, 12 RBIs. Valentino wears his royal blue socks up high. We're in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Fastball at the knees, a strike called. There's no speed pitch indicator here at Community Field in Burlington. I'll try to take a gander at some of the scouts' radar guns as they hold them up. The 2-2. And that one's dribbled foul behind the plate. Burlington, believe it or not, is hitting only .210 here at home. Yet, they're a 500 team at home, batting .210. Well, one of the Scouts' radar guns registering at 93 miles an hour on that last Nick Adenhart fastball. There are a number of Scouts here now that the amateur draft has been completed. Nick Adenhart into a slow windup. His pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Valentino Arce is down on strikes. That one recorded as well by the Scouts at 93 miles an hour. 2 gone here in the B first inning. No score. Carlos Arroyo, the batter. Well, things got so wild and woolly in last night's series opener that I didn't have a chance to bring you our baseball fun facts. So we'll have 2 of them this evening. One from last night, one for tonight. Ball 1 low to Carlos Arroyo. This fella has given us fits at the plate. He's batting .450 against Kernel pitching. Left-handed hitter, 9 for 20 against the Kernels this year. Carlos Arroyo. He had 3 hits last night. The 1-0 from Nick. Just outside, according to Clint Fagan, a curveball, ball 2. Arroyo may be a familiar name to you. He's from Colombia. He's 25 years old, and he played in this league with Wisconsin back in 2003. A chopper to first. Mark Trumbo has it. Underhands to Adenhart covering to complete the inning. The putout went 3-1. Mark Trumbo feeding the pitcher Nick Adenhart as Arroyo clubbed a high chopper to first base. Down in order go the Bees in the first inning. We'll get to the baseball fun fact, one of 2 that we'll have for you tonight from Burlington. After 1, it's the Kernels and Bees scoreless. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
Do you, Susan Smith, take a Giuseppe Florentino?
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared to Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you zero. Come to Zio Giano's for Il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Mark Trumbo will lead off in the second for the Kernels. Each club went down in order in the first, and a Carlos Rosa fastball is down and in to Mark Trumbo. Mark, playing for the first time since Friday night, is batting cleanup in the Allen Motor Company order. The B outfield plays him deep and straight away. Trumbo slices a pitch foul over the head of Eric Owens, coaching at first base. The B outfield is Ethan Santana in left, Jose Duarte in center, and Carlos Arroyo in right. The Bees in their white home uniforms with royal blue everything. Royal blue hats, royal blue socks, royal blue numbers, royal blue shoes. A fastball over the letters, and Mark Trumbo swung late and missed, strike 2. Mark's hitting .217. 9 home runs, 32 RBIs. Straightaway stance from the right side. And a swing and a miss. Mark Trumbo down on strikes. And that's the 4th strikeout for Carlos Rosa. Our baseball fun fact that we couldn't give you last night on the heels of the dramatic Oregon State Beaver win over the North Carolina Tar Heels in the College World Series last night in Omaha. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of the College World Series 10 years ago in 1996, readers of the Omaha World Herald voted for their all-time College World Series team. And I'll give you who they chose. After the 1-0 pitch to Davies, Josh pounds it to first, or second on one hop. Coming into glove it is Valentino Arce on to first. Josh Davies has chopped out to second, and there are two away quickly here in the Kernels' second inning. That all-time College World Series team is voted upon by readers of the Omaha World Herald 10 years ago. Some of these names you'll recognize, a couple you won't. Catcher Mike Day, you probably don't recognize that name. Mike Day, Oklahoma State, 1982 through 1985. First base, Will Clark, Mississippi State, 1985. Ball one inside to Jordan Renz, now a breaking pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Boy, both these right-handers, Rosa for the Bees, Adenhart for the Kernels, are pitching well early on. Ball two, low and away to Jordan. Jordan, 0-for-3 last night, walked in the first inning to load the bases with one out before starter David Henniger got Josh Davies to hit into a double play. Bases empty, two gone here in the Kernels' second, no score. Rosa's 2-1, swing and a miss, strike two. The second baseman on the all-time College World Series team is voted upon by readers of the Omaha World Herald, Todd Walker. He was from LSU back in the 93-94, Todd Walker. Third baseman, Robin Ventura. Robin was an Oklahoma Stater in 86 and 87. The shortstops was Texas's Spike Owen in the early 80s. Ball three, low and away to Jordan Renz. We'll get to the outfield, the DH, the pitchers. Jordan waved at a curveball outside, high and outside. He didn't mean to, but he broke his wrist. Strike three swinging. The Kernels go in order in the top of the second inning, and after an inning and a half here at Community Field in Burlington, it's the Kernels nothing and the Bees nothing. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
This month of June is Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. And Peck's is the home of the plant people, the experts that can help you determine the best selection to start your lasting perennial garden or to continue growing in your favorite realm of the yard. You can choose from Peck's quality selection of perennials. Each week during this month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant at a special price. So be sure to look for this week's featured perennial special as you stroll through Peck's acres of perennials, plants, and flowers. The plant people at Peck's can help you get started with your perennial garden or add to your existing one. Peck's is celebrating a milestone, 50 years of growing with our community. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. They're open till 8 o'clock on weeknights until 5 on Saturday and Sunday. No score as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Burlington's Mario Lasone will lead it off. Mario Lasone didn't play in last night's series opener. The cleanup man is second to Brad Kuhn in steals with 23. This guy has quite a physique. The Venezuelan played here in 78 games for the Bees last year, hit .250, 6 homers, 36 RBIs. This year he's hitting .231, 5 home runs, 39 RBIs. A fastball letter high is a strike called from Nick Adenhart to Mario Lasone. Mario, a straightaway stance from the right side, wears a protective guard on his front ankle, and a big Uncle Charlie is strike two called to Lasone, L-I-S-S-O-N. Mario Lasone is in the hole, 0-2. Nick Adenhart winds and delivers. Ooh, a fastball low and outside for ball one. Continuing with our recitation, our baseball fun fact of the all-time College World Series team is voted upon 10 years ago. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and tagging out Lasone is catcher Flint Whipke. 2 strikeouts for Nick Adenhart. He's retired for 4 in a row. Readers of the Omaha World Herald voted for their all-time College World Series team 10 years ago. We've told you catcher Mike Day out of Oklahoma State, first baseman Will the Thrill Clark from Mississippi State, Todd Walker from LSU voted as the all-time College World Series second baseman, shortstop Robin Ventura from Oklahoma State voted the all-time third baseman, and Texas's Spike Owen the shortstop. A big yellowhammer is a strike call to right-handed hitting Miguel Vega. Vega batting .286. And he rips one over the head of the leaping shortstop, Heinley Stacia. Coming in to get it, Josh Davies, and it's Miguel Vega collecting the first hit of the game by either squad as he drilled a single over the leaping, outstretched glove of shortstop Heinley Stacia. Vega was 0-for-4 last night. The batter's Brady Everett, the DH. Everett, with 2 homers, 10 RBIs, gave Burlington a 1-0 lead in the first last night off Tommy Mendoza with a bounce out to second. Brady Everett. He's from Washington State, and he takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. The outfield on the 50th anniversary College World Series team, as voted by readers of the Omaha World Herald in 1996. Outfield of Davey Winfield of Minnesota, Barry Bonds, who went to Arizona State, and Mark Kotze of Cal State Fullerton. Ball 2, a fastball low to Brady Everett. Everett 6 feet even. A 15th round pick of the Royals last year, Brady Everett. Hit .361 in 29 games with Idaho Falls, and a breaking pitch is in for a strike on the outside corner. Leading away at first is Miguel Vega. The Bees are second only to our ball club in stolen bases this year. Vega's not running, and a swing and a miss by the batter, strike 2. That was a good changeup from the Colonel All-Star right-hander. The DH for the all-time College World Series team, voted upon 10 years ago, Oklahoma State's Pete Incaviglia, Inky. Here's a high pop foul drifting over the Colonel first base dugout, and it's still a 2-2 count on Brady Everett. No score. We're in the bottom of the second. The lights have been turned on here at Community Field. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Kernels and the Bees. Dallas Morris playing 15 feet off the line at third. A comebacker underneath the glove of Adenhart. Scooped by Infante, who underhands to the shortstop. Stacia Heinley on to first for a spectacular double play. Brady Everett hit a sharp ground ball, deflected off the mitt of pitcher Nick Adenhart, went to Larry Infante. Larry fielded it with his glove, then scooped it like a bulldozer shovel to set shortstop Heinley Stacia at second. Heinley was on second for the force of Miguel Vega. Then Stacia got rid of it in a jiffy on to first baseman Mark Trumbo for a spectacular 1-4-6-3 inning-ending twin killing. Wow, that was some double play turned by the Kernels. No runs in the second for the Bees. 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. A double play. The Bees leave the bases empty. We go to the top of the third already here at Community Field. Kernels nothing, Burlington nothing. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and, like, you got those butterflies every time when they call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Larry Infante jumps on the first pitch from B right-hander Carlos Rosa and smacks it into left field where Ethan Santana retrieves it. It's a leadoff single for Kernels second baseman Larry Infante. Dallas Morris, who didn't play in last night's series opener, takes a breaking pitch outside. Kernels have the go-ahead run at first with nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Dallas Morris, an open stance. He's hitting .219, and he takes low for ball two. Finishing up our baseball fun fact, the all-time College World Series team voted upon by Omaha World Herald readers back in 1996. Again, the outfield, Mark Kotze from Cal State Fullerton, Barry Bonds from Arizona State, Dave Winfield from Minnesota. The runner goes, and a grounder to short, out at second, out at first. And the Bees turn a double play with Larry Infante running. Dallas Morris grounds to the shortstop, and Chris McConnell underhanded to Valentino Arce for the force out of Infante. That went 6-4, and then the double play was completed when Arce threw to first, and it went 6-4-3. Boy, Bobby Maggiano's doing everything right. Knowing this might be a low-scoring game, he started Larry Infante, and Dallas Morris did his part by hitting the ball on the ground. The only thing that prevented it from being successful is Dallas hit it to the shortstop side of the bag rather than to the right side, the second base side of second. Thus, a double play results. Stantrell Smith takes a ball and now hacks one foul outside the right field line. Strike one to Stantrell. So each team has turned a double play here in the early going. No score, top of the third inning. Stantrell Smith hitting .202 in 33 games. Corks it foul on the ground past Eric Owens at first base. The pitchers on the all-College World Series team, I remember this fellow well. The last Big Ten team to win a College World Series was Ohio State back in 1966, and they were led by pitcher Steve Arlen, who had a marvelous career with the Padres before turning to dentistry. Ball two is low and outside to Stantrell. The other pitcher, Texas's Bert Hooton, who had quite a career with the Dodgers and Cubs, among others. Designated hitter, Pete Incaviglia. I said he was an outfielder. He was the DH. A changeup from Carlos Rosa sinks low, and it's ball three to Stantrell Smith. Outfield plays the right-handed batter straight away. Stantrell corks it on the ground to short. McConnell's up with it quickly, and Chris on to first. Stantrell Smith grounds out to short. Colonel third started with promise. A Larry Infante line drive single to left, but then a double play and a ground out. No runs in the third for the Colonels. One hit. There were no B errors. The Colonels leave the bases empty. Goose eggs galore as we go to the bottom of the third in Burlington. It's the Colonels and Bees. No score. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Kernel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players.
Jeff Howell, who surrendered a pass ball that allowed Brad Kuhn to score the tying run in last night's game in the top of the ninth inning. but then tripled with one out and scored the game-winning run in the bottom of the ninth off Robert Romero. Will lead off against Nick Adenhart here in the bottom of the third inning. No score. Each team has a hit. Each team has turned a double play. Strike one to the right-handed hitting catcher out of Florida Southern College. Division II national champs last year. Howell, a right-handed hitter. And a big curveball is in for strike two to right-hander Jeff Howell. No score, and we're in the bottom of the third inning already. We're back at home Thursday night to begin an 8-game homestand. And we'll remind you about the Freedom for Hunger Challenge. The food drive as a change-up is in the dirt from Nick Adenhart, who's making his 16th start of the year. The 19-year-old right-hander has been absolutely magnificent and brilliant the entire season. It's clouded up here at Community Field. The lights are on. And here's a bouncer to Dallas Morris. Dallas comes charging in and fires from just to the left of the mound in time to get Jeff Howell. A bounce out to third starts the B third inning, one away. One more note, though, before we get to the homestand on that all-time College World Series team. The voters of the Omaha World Herald voting 10 years ago to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the College World Series. The head coach that they voted on the team, Rod Dadow from Southern Cal. Here's a high fly ball into left. Drifting back a few steps is Josh Davies, and Josh has plenty of room to haul it down. Off the bat of Chris McConnell. The 175 hitting shortstop for the Bees has flown to left, and there are two out here in the B third inning. No score. The number 9 hitter is Ethan Santana. He may try to bunt his way on. Ethan bunted his way on. Ethan was nothing for 3 last night. Left-handed hitter with very good speed, 15 steals and 26 tries. He did try to bunt his way on and missed a high fastball, strike one. This Thursday night, we ask you to pitch in and help us try to raise food in the 4th annual Freedom from Hunger Drive. 0-1 to Ethan Santana. And a ball low. That was a fastball from Nick Adenhart. We'll be collecting your non-perishable food items in front of the stadium in an Army troop transport truck starting Thursday night, the 29th, in 2 nights, and it'll go through Sunday, July 2nd. And we sure appreciate your donation to help us eliminate eliminate hunger by bringing food to our food drive. Strike 2 call to the batter. Now a swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Flint Whipke has to throw to first. He does, to complete the strikeout and retire the Bees here in the bottom of the third inning. My goodness, this season of tremendous Kernel pitching continues to display itself proudly here tonight in Burlington. We go to the top of the 4th inning, and a pair of very, very sharp right-handers, Carlos Rosa for the Bees and our own Nick Adenhart, are dueling here tonight. After 3, Kernels nothing, Bees nothing. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
We're already in the top of the fourth inning at Community Field in Burlington. Top of the order for the Kernels, Brad Kuhn. On a 1-0 pitch, loops it foul into the third base stands. And it's 1-1 to Brad, who started this game by grounding out to second. No score. Each team has a hit. Brad Kuhn has a 19-game hitting streak. Left-handed hitter, and he bunts foul. Foul outside third, strike two. There is plenty of foul ball ground room here at Community Field. Tons of it. As I told you earlier, there's an 8-foot-high plywood wall that has multi-colored billboards, advertising panels, proudly displaying local businesses. It's 375 to the left center field power alley, 403 to dead center, and a dark green plywood wall in center field. It serves as the hitter's backdrop. Ball two is low to the Colonel leadoff batter, Brad Kuhn. A 16-foot-high plywood wall is in right field, from the right field foul pole to the new scoreboard in right center, which is royal blue with red numbers, and it also has a... Oh, no, I need Andy Pantini to help me with this. Andy's our director of technology and graphics. It has a message center on it, similar to what you'd see at a bank, a digital message center that flashes sentences up and then they script across like you see at the bottom of your television screen sometime. I don't know what they call it. Ball four just missed inside to Brad Kuhn. A fastball, and plate umpire Clint Fagan called it high and inside, and the Kernels have their leadoff man aboard for the second time tonight. Brad Kuhn drawing a leadoff walk here in the fourth inning. And let's see if Brad will be doing some running. The Kernels tried a hit and run when Larry Infante led off the third with a single. Dallas Morris wrapped it to the shortstop, Chris McConnell, who started a 6-4-3 double play, even though Infante was running. Taking outside for a ball is Flint Whipke. Leading away at first is Brad Kuhn, who leads the league with 27 stolen bases. Now here comes the B pitching coach. I hope Carlos Rosa hasn't shaken himself up. The trainer isn't coming out. It's just the pitching coach, former big leaguer Steve Luber. Well, that'll give us a chance to tell you more about the challenge to raise 30 tons or 60,000 pounds of food for our area food assistance programs. It starts this Thursday, the 29th, the 4th annual Freedom from Hunger Night at the ballpark, and it'll go through Sunday, July 2nd. We're asking you to help the Kernels in our community strike out hunger by bringing your non-perishable donations, your non-perishable food items, and donating them. You'll be putting them in a vintage Army troop transport vehicle parked outside the stadium. And our challenge with your help is to fill that truck with food to help area food assistance programs feed the hungry in our community. Meet us at the stadium starting this Thursday, the 29th of June, and bring along a non-perishable food item to donate. With your donation, you'll be eligible to enter a drawing for a prize package to be given away on Freedom from Hunger Night at the ballpark this Thursday, the 29th. Thanks in advance for helping out. We really do appreciate it. The 1-0 to Flint Whipke. I mean, the skies are really darkening here. When we started the game, just about a half hour ago, it was sunny and blue skies. Brad Kuhn has a short lead at first, being held by Miguel Vega. Carlos Rosa, the 6'1" right-hander, throws to first. Brad's back standing up. Back safely standing up, that is. Thursday night is also a 100.7 Fox Bucket Cup Thursday. That means you can enjoy a 12-ounce soda, a 12-ounce beer, or a slushie for only $1 this Thursday night. You can order your tickets online at www.kernels.com. Ooh, what a change-up as Rosa pulled the string on Flint Whipke. The Colonel catcher swung and missed for strike one. Flint steps out, takes a look at the signs being flashed by Colonel skipper Bobby Magianis at third base. Flint rolled out to short his first time up. Kuhn not running, and a pitch up and in has Flint Whipke twisting out of the way. Friday night, If you're among the first 1,000 to come to the ballpark to see us play the Cincinnati Red minor leaguers, the Dayton Dragons, you'll receive a Colonel baseball cap. That's this Friday, June 30th. The gates open at 6. Come early. Those iOS Office Solutions hats will only go to the first 1,000 of you Colonel fans. The 2-1 pitch to Whipke. Kuhn is at first. Brad draws the throw, and he's back again, standing up. Brad Kuhn threw a leadoff walk here in this scoreless game in the top of the 4th inning. The lights are on here at Community Field. No grandstand roof here, although there is a new space-age-like convex circular roof that protrudes over some of the ballpark. Here's a high pop fly into shallow right center. Jose Duarte drifts over to make the catch. Flint Whipke flies to center. 1 on, 1 out for the Colonels here in the 4th inning. And let's see if Brad Kuhn now tries to do some running with Heinle Stacia batting. Got to give the Colonels credit. They put the ball in play so far tonight. Rosa has struck out 2 and allowed 1 hit and has issued a walk in 3 1/3 innings. 0-0 in the top of the 4th inning. Throw to first, and Brad dives back in hand first. There's a beautiful brick facade that welcomes you into this ballpark, which they just keep making better. A brand new beer stand down the right field line, part of a elevated wooden picnic deck that parallels the right field line. Heinle Stacia lays off a fastball high for ball 1. Heinle's batting .272. Singled his first 2 trips up last night, went 2 for 4. Kuhn not running. Strike 1 call, due Heinle. Friday night, the first 1,000 of you Colonel fans receive a Colonel baseball cap from iOS Office Solutions. Brad has to dive back in as Rosa throws over there. 1-1 to Heinle Stacia. Brad Kuhn has a little bit bigger lead now. He's not running, and ball 2 is low to Heinle Stacia. The third baseman, Mario Lasone, is playing a good 15 feet off the line at third. He's playing even with the base. The B outfield, Santana in left, Duarte in center, and Arroyo in right. They're playing straight away for Heinle. Kuhn not running on 2-1, a ground ball to the right side. The second baseman throws to short, and the shortstop at second catches it for the force out of Brad Kuhn. Heinle Stacia forces Brad Kuhn, Valentino Arce to Chris McConnell for the force out of Brad Kuhn. And there are 2 gone here in the Colonel 4th inning for Mark Trumbo, who struck out leading off the 2nd inning. That force out went Arce to McConnell, 4-6. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization last night. We thank Andy Pantini for doing the research. A breaking pitch taken outside, ball 1 by Trumbo. Our parent club raised their record to 35 wins, 41 losses. Former Colonel right-hander John Lackey won his 5th game, and former Colonel catcher Mike Napoli continues his great rookie year. Mike went 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI as the Angels rallied at home to trim the Rockies last night 5-4. Swing and a miss by Mark Trumbo, strike 1. Stacia at first, being held by Miguel Vega, 2 out. Here in the top of the 4th, a throw to first, and Heinle's back standing up. Salt Lake is now 46-31. Former Angel first-round draft pick out of Virginia Tech lefty Joe Saunders pitched 7 innings of 3-hit ball as Salt Lake shut out Colorado Springs 3-0. Joe Saunders, a former Colonel. Mark Trumbo dribbles the 1-1 pitch foul behind home plate, strike 2. Howie Kendrick was 3 for 4 with a home run, a triple, and 2 RBIs, and former Colonel Mike Elward went 3 for 4. Boy, I wish that Salt Lake team could play in the big leagues. I bet they'd be pretty competitive. Ball 2 in the dirt, smothered by Jeff Howell to prevent a wild pitch. Arkansas's record is 25 wins, 49 losses. Arkansas bowed to San Antonio last night, 4-3. Former Colonel All-Star Brandon Wood, shortstop Brandon Wood, get this, he socked his 16th home run. Rafael Rodriguez pitched 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, and struck out 6. Mark Trumbo reaches out and loops the next pitch foul up onto the right field picnic deck where the Bees are entertaining guests from Russia. Carlos Rosa with his 2-2 to mark. And a pitch bounce foul outside first base by Mark Trumbo. Kernels battling here in the top of the 4th inning, trying to see if they can be the team to score the first run. Not as many people here tonight as last night, but a good crowd nonetheless. They had just under 1,000 last night here at Community Field. The bleacher section beyond the Bee newly installed third base dugout is about 2/3 full. The grandstand about half full. Swing and a miss by Mark Trumbo. A pitch down and in. Mark Trumbo down on strikes to end the Kernel 4th inning. It started with a walk, but the Kernels couldn't make anything of the Brad Kuhn leadoff walk. Carlos Rosa matching Kernel All-Star Nick Adenhart pitch for pitch so far in this wonderful pitching duel. No runs, no hits, a walk in the Kernel 4th. There were no Bee errors. The Kernels leave our first man stranded of the game. Burlington comes to bat in the home half of the 4th. The score is the Kernels nothing, the Bees nothing, and you're enjoying Kernel baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm has teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Top of the order for Burlington in the top of the 4th inning. Nick Adenhart gave up a one-out single to Miguel Vega, but he was erased in a snazzy double play started by the Kernel pitcher. And Jose Duarte, who started the game for the Bees in the bottom of the 1st by skying out to center fielder Brad Kuhn, takes high and away ball 1. No score, bottom of the 4th inning. Kernel outfield plays Duarte shallow, and a changeup drops in on the inside edge. Strike 1 from Nick Adenhart. Nick, in 98 innings pitched, has only allowed 81 hits and struck out 93, walked only 23. Swing and a miss, strike 2 by the .263 hitting Jose Duarte. Our one-run loss here last night dropped our one-run record to 11-17. Curve and a swing and a miss. That strikeout, the 4th by the 19-year-old Kernel right-hander. One out here in the 4th inning, and the batter Valentino Arce. Getting back to Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization last night. Rancho Cucamonga finished 33-43 in the first half. They're on their all-star break right now in the California League. A breaking pitch dips low, ball 1 to Arce as Dallas Morris came rushing in from third base. Arce showed bunt, but pulled the bat back and took low. Rookie Orem, or the Orem Owls, are now 4-2 on the year. There's a bouncing ball foul to the right of Bee skipper Jim Gabella, who's coaching at third. Gabella wearing a long-sleeve royal blue shirt underneath his white home Bee top. The Bees with blue numbers trimmed, royal blue numbers trimmed in gold or yellow. The 1-1 from Nick Adenhart, a bunt up the third base side. Dallas McPherson gloves and throws in time. What a play by Dallas Morris to rob Valentino Arce of a bunt single here in the fourth inning. Dallas Morris came charging in, had to scoop that bunt out of the grass about 20 feet up the third baseline. Dallas's throw was in the dirt, but dug out beautifully by Mark Trumbo for the second out here in the Burlington fourth inning. 2 away, the batter Carlos Arroyo. Nick Adenhart's changeup is taken low, ball 1 by the left-handed batter. We may never see a year, at least I haven't in my 11 years in the Midwest League, a year like this in terms of pitching excellence by the Kernels. Strike 1 called on the outside corner to Arroyo. You think about all the great players we've seen come through here. Offensively, Howie Kendrick, Brandon Wood, Alberto Callaspo. Here's a broken bat fly ball into shallow right. Santrell Smith throws for a moment, but then comes pedaling in to one-handed, and that ends the Bee fourth inning. The Bees go down in order. Nick Adenhart and Carlos Rosa are both pitching dynamite games in the second game of this 3-game set. I'll get back to my thought about how lucky we are to be seeing and witnessing and experiencing the pitching that we've seen so far this year when the Kernels come to bat in the top of the 5th inning. It's also your chance to earn a prize from Bruce Moore. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question comes your way in the top of the 5th inning. And after 4, it's the Kernels and Bees scoreless at Community Field. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Josh Davies will lead off for the Kernels against Carlos Rosa as we go to the top of the 5th inning. And Josh pounds the first pitch foul into the Bee third base dugout. Strike 1. Josh Davies bounced out to second in the second inning. Top of the 5th already. No score between Burlington and the Kernels here at Community Field. Ball 1 low to Josh Davies. He was our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and we got another fabulous story to relay to you about Josh Davies from his mom and dad from Australia. A fastball is upstairs to the right-handed hitter. Davies in 4 games has a homer and 3 RBIs. He's batting .333. Josh Davies, right-handed hitter, does not wear batting gloves. Leading off here in the Kernel 5th inning. And Josh fouls one towards the Bee third base dugout for strike 2.
Jennifer, could you give the tickets to those 2 people in the third row, a brown shirt, and then the girls waving?
Are they waving?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
2-2 to Josh Davies. Strike 3 called, a slider on the outside corner, and that strikeout is the 4th for Carlos Rosa. Boy, do we have 2 of the best-looking Midwest League pitching prospects squaring off here tonight. A scoreless game in the top of the 5th inning. Mark and Rosie Davies emailed me and gave us an interesting addendum to our visit with Josh on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. He and his folks were in the United States when Josh was 5 years old. They took a tour of what was then called Anaheim Stadium. Josh got to go into the Angel dugout during the tour, and as a 5-year-old, he told his parents, "This is what I want to do when I grow up." Well, Josh Davies, congratulations. You're living your dream, just as your dad, Mark, told us in his email. Thank you so much, Mark and Rosie Davies from Australia, and your emails are not a hassle or an imposition. We welcome them all the time. Thank you so much. That is living a dream, isn't it? When as a 5-year-old you can say, this is what I want to do when I grow up, play professional baseball, and Josh is doing it. 1-1 to Jordan Renz, who struck out in the first. Jordan nubs one foul behind first base, strike 2. We have a chance for you to win a pair of tickets to the Outdoor Children's Theater production of Cinderella at Bruce Moore right now. You can email us with your answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza, and the email address is john@kernels.com, JOHN@kernels.com. Whether you've won the Bruce Moore Bonanza already or not doesn't matter. You can participate tonight. You'll find the answer to the question that we're going to give you in just a second on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. That's www.brucemore.org. And I'll have the question for you in just a moment. The clouds continue to darken the sky above. No rain. 2-2 to Jordan Renz. 242 average, 14 homers, 44 RBIs. A low fastball swung on and missed by Jordan, strike 3. And the strikeouts are mounting for Carlos Rosa, who's now fanned 5. Jordan Renz tied for the league lead in homers with 14. Let me double-check that and make sure that's right. Yes, he's still tied for the league lead with 14 home runs. Jordan strikes out for the second out here in the Kernel 5th inning. Larry Infante has the only Kernel hit of the game. He takes low for ball 1. Kernels have 2 base runners through 4 2/3 innings. The Bees have 1 base runner in their 4 at-bats against Nick Adenhart. Larry Infante taps the next pitch foul in front of the plate, strike 1. Larry, a 185 hitter, left-handed batter with a couple of homers, 15 RBIs. Here's our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Name one of the beloved American Broadway songs that would be performed at Bruce Moore's production of The Fantastics, coming up in just a couple of weeks. Name one of the beloved American Broadway songs that will be performed in the Classics at Bruce Moore's production of The Fantastics later this month in July. The 2-1 to Larry is poked foul behind first base, a high chopper. 2 out, bases empty, top of the 5th inning, no score here at Community Field. You can email me your answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question right here in Burlington, John, JOHN, at Kernels, KERNELS. The 2-2 to Larry is corked in the air high, deep, but foul into the B left field bullpen, chased by Ethan Santana. And, boy, those B bullpen members could probably be playing pinochle or Trivial Pursuit or tic-tac-toe and the crushed limestone warning track material. They probably will get the night off. The 2-2 to Larry. Did it hit Infante? Yes, it did. The pitch hit Larry Infante, who stepped into it. Larry is writhing in pain. Now he picks up his gait and trots to first. The ball ricocheted off Larry Infante, and then it hit Jeff Howell, the catcher. He's shaken up. He's being looked over by Mark Stubblefield. So that hit batsman by right-hander Carlos Rosa, his 6th of the year, and Larry Infante reaches for the second straight time. The pitch was up and in, and Larry Infante thrust his hands toward the pitch, and the pitch hit him somewhere in the left arm. Larry looks like he's all right. He leads away at first. Dallas Morris swings at a changeup and misses in the dirt, ball or strike 1. Email us now with your answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question. You'll find the answer on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore, BRUCEMORE.org. And you can email me at john@kernels.com. JOHN at Kernels, KERNELS.com. Dallas Morris lifts one into rather deep right field. Drifting back in front of the warning track to glove it is Carlos Arroyo. Dallas Morris got good wood on it and sent it soaring into deep right where Arroyo drifted back and caught it. No runs in the fifth for the Kernels, no hits, a hit batter. There were no B errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard and have stranded a pair. After 4.5 at Community Field, it's still the Kernels nothing and the Bees nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
We've got a barn burner, a humdinger, a cliffhanger, whatever you want to call it, a pitching duel to be sure, at Community Field in Burlington, where the Bees have just one base runner through 4 innings, the Kernels 3 base runners through 5 at-bats. Nick Adenhart's first pitch to Mario Lasone is a strike on the outside corner, a fastball. Let's give you one more chance to respond to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. You'll earn a pair of tickets to Bruce Moore's outdoor children's theater production of Cinderella and a Bruce Moore souvenir book. And you can answer or email me whether you've won a Bruce Moore Bonanza question or not. It's open to all. A ground ball foul past third on a 1-1 count. Mario Lasone struck out leading off the second. The cleanup batter is leading off the top of the fifth for the Bees in this scoreless game. You'll find the answer to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. That's BRUCEMORE. And you can email me the answer at john@kernels.com. JOHN at Kernels, KERNELS.com. Ooh, a fastball just missed outside. And it's now 2-2 to Mario Lasone. Second to Brad Kuhn in stolen bases with 23. Lasone is jammed and lifts the 2-2 pitch foul over the Kernel first base dugout. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Here's a ground ball to short. Heinle Stacia fields it cleanly and throws out the batter. Mario Lasone hit it sharply on the ground to short, where Stacia, the all-star Kernel shortstop, took care of it for the first out here in the fifth inning. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Name one, just one, of the beloved American Broadway songs that will be performed in the Classics at Bruce Moore's production of The Fantastics later this month in July. Name one of the beloved American Broadway songs that will be performed in the Classics at Bruce Moore's production of The Fantastics later this month of July. Just name one of those beloved Broadway classic American Broadway songs that will be performed later this month at Bruce Moore. Look out, a swing and a miss, and I say look out because Miguel Vega on a 1-0 pitch let loose of his black lacquer bat. It went hurtling into the air above the B third base dugout. Fortunately, the handicap section atop Burlington's third base dugout is protected by a screen, and nobody was shaken up. It's 1 ball, 1 strike to right-handed hitting Miguel Vega. Vega hasn't had much luck against the Kernels. He is 2 for 15. He singled his first time up. There's strike 2 called to right-handed hitting Miguel Vega, the first baseman. He's hitting .239, and he pounds one to shallow third. Very tough play for Dallas Morris. Dallas charges, throws in time! Oh, what a play by Dallas Morris! On a softly hit weak bouncer to shallow third, Dallas Morris had to charge it, glove it, unload with all his momentum carrying him towards the plate. He threw to the home plate side of first. Mark Trumbo gave Dallas a big assist as Trumbo came off the base and tagged out the batter. Miguel Vega, whose bid for an infield single was thwarted on a terrific play at third by Dallas Morris. That's the second outstanding play made by the Colonel third baseman. He took a bunt base hit bid away from Valentino Arce with a great play in the fourth inning. 2 gone here in the B5th. Nobody on and a pitch in the dirt. We may have an answer to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Yes, we do. Mary Ann Weatherby. Congratulations, Mary Ann. You've won yourself a pair of tickets to the children's production of Cinderella. Mary Ann Weatherby. Congratulations, Mary Ann. I'm going to ask you to email me your address along with your name at john@kernels.com. Here's a high fly ball hit off the end of the bat, tailing foul down the right field line by Brady Everett, who hit into a double play his first time up. First of all, let's congratulate Mary Ann Weatherby, WETHERBEE. Mary Ann, you're right. If you go to Bruce Moore, you'll get to hear, if you go to hear the classics at Bruce Moore's production of the Fantastics, you could expect to hear Try to Remember, Soon It's Going to Rain, and They Were You. So, congratulations, Mary Ann Weatherby. And again, if you could email us your mailing address, we'll make sure you get the tickets to Cinderella. Swing and a miss by Brady Everett on a pitch down and away from Nick Adenhart, who records his 5th strikeout of the night. And Nick Adenhart is pitching another gem as he's now allowed only 1 hit in 5 innings, 1 base runner to Burlington. Everything we expected and more in the way of a pitching duel tonight. We head to the 6th inning at Community Field, where the Kernels and Bees are still scoreless. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here. Go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. And when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
Here we go to the top of the 6th inning in Burlington. Overcast skies, temperature 76 degrees. The temperature has dropped a lot since the start of the game. It was 82 degrees, and a breaking pitch is a strike call to Stantrell Smith on the outside corner. Stantrell grounded out to short his first time up. He whistles the next pitch foul straight back, strike 2. We have another winner that will be receiving a pair of tickets to Bruce Moore's outdoor children's theater production of Cinderella, Aubrey Pipkin, Pipkin. Aubrey, congratulations. You, along with Marianne Weatherby, will be receiving a pair of tickets to Bruce Moore's production, outdoor theater children's production of Cinderella. Aubrey Pipkin, Pipkin. Congratulations, and thanks, Aubrey and Marianne. We always boast that 50% of our audience at Veterans Memorial Stadium are women, and two great ladies, Marianne Weatherby and Aubrey Pipkin, winning the Bruce Moore Bonanza. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in by Stantrell Smith. One gone here in the Kernels' sixth inning, and that strikeout, the sixth of the game for Carlos Rosa. Man, this pitching we've been seeing this year has been just really almost unbelievable that you see this good a pitching at this level of baseball. The B pitching staff ranked second in the league with a 3.11 ERA, even better against our club in 5 games, 2.86. Ball one low to Brad Kuhn. Brad, a left-handed batter, riding a 19-game hitting streak, takes low, ball 2. Kuhn walked leading off the 4th inning. He did not try to steal a base, and Rosa retired the next 3 Kernels. The 2-0 to Brad. Low and in, ball 3 to Brad Kuhn. Thanks to all that emailed us in our Bruce Moore Bonanza Challenge question. It was great to hear from Marianne Weatherby and Aubrey Pipkin. Marianne Weatherby, if you could email us back with your mailing address, John, John, at Kernels.com. That's John at Kernels, Kernels.com. Ball 4 is low and in to Brad Kuhn, who reaches for the second straight time. Now let's see if Brad will do some running with Flint Whipke at the plate. No score, and we're in the top of the 6th inning here in Burlington. The Kernels trying to put a halt to a B 4-game winning streak against us. Kuhn is running, a strike called, and no throw by the catcher. Brad Kuhn took off so early that Carlos Rosa, Kuhn was halfway to second base before Rosa delivered a strike called to Flint Whipke. Now Flint swings and misses, strike 2. Brad Kuhn at second. Well, I've got a suggestion. Since he leads the league in steals, how about if he tries to steal third and then try to steal home? And I'm not saying that cynically, sarcastically, or facetiously. I really think he may try to do it. The 0-2, and Rosa turns and looks Brad back to second. 0-2 to Flint Whipke, who's grounded to short and flown to center. A base hit by Flint Whipke would likely give the Kernels the first run of this game. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, low and away. A good changeup. Strikeout number 7 for Carlos Rosa. And a throw that Kuhn tried to get to third on a delayed steal. He's thrown out to end the inning. Brad Kuhn did try to steal third on a delayed steal, and he's thrown out, and that double play ends the inning. Can't blame the Kernels for doing what I was suggesting, and that is try to steal a run. If you're not going to get any hits or drive in any runs, which has been our malady all season long, sometimes dire times call for drastic measures. Brad Kuhn thrown out trying to steal third. A strike him out, throw him out, double play ends the Kernels' 6th inning. No runs, no hits, a walk. There were no B errors. The Kernels leave. The base is empty. After 5.5, an unbelievably pair of talented right-handers, Carlos Rosa of Burlington, Nick Adenhart for the Kernels, matching each other pitch for pitch. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning at Community Field. Kernels nothing, Bees nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Brad Kuhn was thrown out to end the Kernel sixth inning, a strikeout on Whipke. The pitch was in the dirt, so Jeff Howell threw to first to complete the strikeout of Whipke. Then the first baseman, Miguel Vega, threw to third to Mario Lasone, and Brad Kuhn was out, and that play went 3-5. Swing and a miss by Jeff Howell. We're underway in the bottom of the sixth inning, no score. The 1-1. Grounded sharply to Dallas Morris. Dallas holds his ground and fields it and fires across the diamond. Boy, has Dallas Morris sparkled at the hot corner tonight. Jeff Howell tested the Kernel third baseman once again as he hit one hard on the ground to Dallas Morris for the first out here in the B6th inning. Boy, this is fun to call these games that are so tight and so close. Sure, we haven't won our fair share of them, but that's not because we haven't had great pitching. Here's a bunt attempt by McConnell, and the ball hit him while he was in the batter's box, so he is not out, but it's strike one to the shortstop, Chris McConnell. No score. We're in the bottom of the sixth inning. Nick Adenhart has struck out 5, walked none, and allowed one hit. That came back in the second inning by Miguel Vega. A big yacker, a curveball is outside, just outside to Chris McConnell. 1 homer, 16 RBIs. McConnell hitting 175. He had quite a year last year in rookie ball with Idaho Falls. He takes a fastball in for strike 2. Chris McConnell reached on a bunt single in last night's B2-1 win here. A towering pop-up behind home plate. Flint Whipke chasing it, and Flint has it. It took a while for Flint Whipke to find the foul ball behind the dirt batting circle, but Flint had plenty of time with help from Dallas Morris and Nick Adenhart to find it, drift back, and catch it. Halfway between the dirt batting circle and the screen, Chris McConnell, a 20-year-old shortstop, is fouled out to the catcher, and that brings up Ethan Santana, the catcher, Flint Whipke. 2 away here in the sixth inning. No score. And a foul off to the left by left-handed hitting Ethan Santana. We'll be giving you our first look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard in just a little bit. Plenty more to tell you about the upcoming homestand. A ground ball to first. Backhand attempt by Mark Trumbo. It pops out of his mitt. Rolls to Larry Infante. No play for Larry. That'll be an interesting scoring decision, whether it'll be ruled a base hit or an error. I would rule it an error on Mark Trumbo, although it could go either way. It is ruled a base hit. Ethan Santana reaches. Mark Trumbo, in his defense, had to dive out to his right. And when Mark came down, the weight of his body dislodged the ball from his glove. It then rolled to Larry Infante. Larry looked to Nick Adenhart, who was covering first, but did not make a throw. And the Bees have a runner at first and a ground ball base hit into right, sending the runner, Ethan Santana, to second. He stops as Santrell Smith makes a strong throw into the cutoff man towards third. Heinley Stacia Jose Duarte laces a base hit to the right of Mark Trumbo into right field. And for the first time tonight, Burlington has a runner in scoring position. The Bees have a runner in scoring position with 2 out here in the 6th inning. The batter, Valentino Arce. He had a bunt single bid taken away from him on an outstanding play at third by Dallas Morris for the 2nd out in the 4th inning. Saturday, July 1st, we open the month of July and the 4th of July weekend with a fabulous fireworks show sponsored by Procter & Gamble. Nick Adenhart lets fly with a curveball that slipped out of his hand, and it's ball 1 upstairs to Valentino Arce. Back-to-back singles by Santana and Duarte have the Bees threatening with 2 out here in their half of the 6th inning to break this scoreless duel. There's a fastball high, ball 2 to Arce. 224 hitter, no homers, 12 RBIs for Valentino Arce from Panama. That's right, this Saturday night, fireworks as the Kernels battle the Dayton Dragons, a 7 o'clock start. The 2-0 pitch is a strike at the knees to the right-handed batter. Go ahead, run at second with good speed, Ethan Santana. Equally good speed at first in Jose Duarte for the Bees. Nick Adenhart trying to pitch out of this 2-out scoring threat by Burlington. Just misses low and outside with the breaking ball. It's 3-1. Procter & Gamble fireworks night, Saturday, July 1st. Gates open at 6. The game starts at 7. Arce is a right-handed batter. He's only 5'10", and Nick Adenhart spins and throws into Larry Infante, the second baseman. Getting back safely is Ethan Santana. The Kernels in their all-navy blue caps tonight. We wore our all-red caps last night. The 3-1 to Arce is... Ooh, the plate umpire squeezed the plate. You can tell by Nick Adenhart's reaction as he winces towards the heavens. Ball 4 low to Valentino Arce. Nick Adenhart has now loaded the bases with a walk, his first of the game, an infield single, a base hit to right and a walk, and no Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation from Colonel pitching coach Kernan Ronan to Nick Adenhart. Bases loaded. 2 out for a Colonel killer, Carlos Arroyo. Drove in the game-winning run in the bottom of the 9th last night. Nothing for 2 tonight, 9 for 22 against Colonel pitching, and a letter-high fastball, a strike called from Adenhart. Nick trying to keep this a scoreless game with Burlington batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. Bases loaded, 2 out. Carlos Arroyo, a .269 batter, holds the bat like a Roman candle and lays off a fastball outside for ball 1. Sunday, July 2nd, is a family fun day at the ballpark. The gates open at 1. The Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40 on Sunday, July 2nd. The 1-1 to Arroyo. A line drive into deep left center. Brad Kuhn on the run. Brad's back there and has it. Arroyo gave it a ride and lifted it into deep left center, but Brad Kuhn calmly drifted back and caught it to end the inning. Nick Adenhart keeps this a scoreless game. A 2-out infield single by the Bees, followed by a base hit to right and a walk, loaded the bases. Carlos Arroyo flies to left center, and that ends the Bees' 6th inning scoring chance. Ooh, Nick Adenhart is calm and cool under pressure. No runs in the 6th for Burlington. 2 hits, a walk. There were no Colonel errors. The Bees leave their first 3 men on of the game. They leave the bases loaded. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, it's still a wonderful pitching matchup between Colonel All-Star Nick Adenhart and Dominican right-hander Carlos Rosa. After 6, Colonels nothing, Bees nothing. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Kill Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Kill Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Kill Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykill.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
We go to the top of the 7th. Hindley Stacia has grounded a couple of pitches foul outside first. Hindley is, well, the scoreboard says 0-1. I thought it was 0-2. Top of the 7th, no score here in Burlington. Carlos Rosa, we haven't been able to give you his season line yet. His record 6-4, a 3.16 ERA. In 74 innings, he's allowed only 70 hits, struck out 54 in 74 innings, walked 36. It is indeed 0-2 to Hindley Stacia. Hindley has grounded out twice so far tonight. No score, top of the 7th inning. What a great ball game to bring your way. A swing and a miss by Hindley on a fastball, and Carlos Rosa has been absolutely dominant here tonight. How many strikeouts for the 21-year-old Dominican right-hander? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 strikeouts for Carlos Rosa. Our hitting woes continue. We're batting .226 on the road. Here's Josh Davies. This is Mark Trumbo taking a fastball just low for a ball. Rosa's throwing hard. No signs of fatigue, although the Bees do get a right-hander up in their bullpen here in the 7th inning. Carlos's pitch is bounced to second by Mark Trumbo. Leaping up to grab it is Valentino Arce, and after leaping up, he pegs to first to get Mark Trumbo. 2 away here in the Kernels 7th inning. No score, and now the batter, Josh Davies. Rosa has pitched 6 2/3, allowed no runs on 1 hit. He has walked 2 and hit a batter. The only Kernel hit by Larry Infante leading off the 3rd inning. The Bees have 3 hits off Nick Adenhart. A bouncer to short. This will be easy for Chris McConnell, who throws out Josh Davies. An easy, quick 1-2-3 inning for right-hander Carlos Rosa. Boy, oh boy, what a pleasure it is to watch this excellent pitching in Burlington tonight. 7th inning stretch at Community Field. Nick Adenhart back to the hill. Kernels nothing, Burlington nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
As we go to the home half of the 7th, no score at Community Field in Burlington. Pitcher's duel between 9-game Colonel All-Star, 9-game winner, Colonel All-Star Nick Adenhart, and Burlington ace right-hander Carlos Rosa. We have scores and initial bets to pass on to you, to share with you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We'll be checking for more after the Bees bat here in the 7th. State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Lanny Peterson, and Gary Shubat sponsor the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Mario Lasone, the Bee cleanup batter, leads off against Nick Adenhart. And a beautiful curveball is low, according to Clint Fagan, the plate umpire. Ball 1 to Lasone, who was struck out and grounded to short. Mario, a speedster with 23 steals, second to our own Brad Kuhn. There's a curve in for a strike, 1-1. State Farm Major League scoreboard. They're in the top of the 9th at PNC Park. The Red Hot White Sox lead the Pirates 4-2. Bottom of the 8th at Tropicana Field as Lasone leans back from a pitch high and tight, ball 2. Bottom of the 8th at Tropicana Field in St. Peter. Bottom of the 8th, rather, at Dolphin Stadium in Miami. The Marlins lead the Devil Rays 8-4 in interleague play, the Battle of the Sunshine State. There's ball 3, low and away to Lasone. It's the top of the 8th inning in the Bronx, and the Braves lead the Yankees 2-1. The Tigers continue to play phenomenal baseball. In the top of the 8th, they lead Houston 3-0 at Comerica Park, and there's ball 4 outside to Mario Lasone. He'll likely be trying to steal second base. The fastball missed outside. A leadoff walk issued by Nick Adenhart. The first time tonight the Bees have put their leadoff man aboard. 1 on, nobody out. Lasone is 23 for 26 in stolen base attempts, so the odds favor him should he try to steal. He's only been thrown out 3 times. Again, at Comerica Park, the Tigers are shutting out Houston in the top of the 8th, 3-0. And at Fenway Park, in a rematch of the 1986 World Series, here's a bunt in front of home plate. Nick Adenhart calmly picks it up, throws the batter out, and a sacrifice by Miguel Vega. Vega bunted it halfway to the mound. Mario Lasone was off and running, so Nick Adenhart had no chance to throw him out. And the lead run in this game is at second with 1 out. Miguel Vega retired. Adenhart to mark Trumbo 1-3. In that rematch of the 1986 World Series at Fenway Park, the Red Sox are stomping the Mets in the top of the 6th inning, 8-2. And the Phillies and Orioles were postponed due to rain in Baltimore. What a terrific curveball for strike 1 called on the outside corner to Brady Everett. Everett is 0 for 2 tonight. Go ahead, run at second for Burlington, 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning, no score. Nick's next pitch is a curve outside for a ball. Let's give you more scores as we can here on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. At Rogers Center, the Blue Jays in the top of the 9th are trouncing the Nationals 6-0. The 1-1 to right-handed hitting Everett. Instead of throw to second, and Mario Lasone just got back in ahead of the tag by Larry Infante. After they're in the bottom, they're headed to the top of the 8th at Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, and the Royals are ahead of the Reds 7-5. A high pop fly into right. Stantrell Smith underneath it. Has it for the second out of the inning. Brady Everett flies to right. Holding at second, Mario Lasone, 2 away here in the Burlington 7th inning, no score. In the rematch of the 1965 World Series in the Twin Cities at the Metrodome, they're in the bottom of the 5th. The Twins are ahead of the Dodgers 6-1. And a game being delayed at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Cardinals have lost 7 in a row. Interleague play, the Tribe leads the Redbirds 2-1. In the top of the 5th, the Cardinals have not gotten their bat in the bottom of the 5th inning, so that game is not official. What a Uncle Charlie, a curveball, strike 1 to Jeff Howell. Howell is grounded out to third twice. Go ahead, run at second. 2 out here in the 7th. No score between the Kernels and the Bees. Now time is called. Burlington has out-hit us 3-1. The Kernels have had 4 base runners. The Bees have had 5 base runners. A bouncer to first. Mark Trumbo has it, and he'll make the play unassisted. Jeff Howell chops out on one hop to first. Nick Adenhart pitches around a leadoff walk and keeps the Bees from scoring and taking the lead in this game, getting Jeff Howell to bounce out to first to end the inning. After 7, Kernels nothing, Bees nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premium, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
With the pitching change here in Burlington, I'm behind with our message from Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. June is perennial gardening month at Peck's, and the plant people at Peck's invite you to stroll through their acres of plants and flowers. The plant people at Peck's can help you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's is celebrating 50 years of growing with our area since 1956. June is perennial gardening month at Peck's. And each week during this month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial at a special rate, a value, a sale. And the plant people at Peck's are experts. They'll give you all the free expert advice you need to start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast. They're open until 8 on weeknights and until 5 on Saturday and Sundays. June is perennial gardening month at Peck's, and every week a special feature price on perennials. A new pitcher for the Bees is Chris Hayes, and he's a side armor, not quite a submariner. He misses outside, ball 1 to Jordan Renz. Top of the 8th inning, no score. Jordan, nothing. A bouncer up the middle, and it's backhanded by Arce. He throws to first in time to take a base hit away from Jordan Renz. Listen to the hand for the great play behind second by Valentino Arce. A bouncer over the head of the pitcher, Chris Hayes, the new pitcher. Jordan Renz 0 for 3 now, had a base hit taken away from him on an outstanding play behind second by Valentino Arce. 1 gone here in the Kernel 8th inning. The new pitcher is right-hander Chris Hayes. Boy, these Bee fans are enthusiastic. Now I will call Hayes a submariner. He comes from straight down under and spins in a strike called to Larry Infante. Larry has the only Kernel hit of the game. Swing and a miss, strike 2 from the side armor. Chris Hayes, 2-2 this year. A 1.57 ERA. 4 saves, so he's going to be just as tough as Carlos Rosa to try to hit. The 0-2 to Larry. Swing and a foul off the mid of the catcher, Clint Fagan. Larry Infante, the only Kernel hit of the game, a leadoff single back in the 3rd inning. Here's the final line on the starter, Carlos Rosa. He went 7 innings, allowed no runs on 1 hit, struck out 8, walked 2, hit a batter. The 0-2 to Larry, low and away for a ball. Top of the 8th inning, no score. Chris Hayes, a submarining right-hander, working from the stretch. Here's a pitch drilled into left. That's the second Kernel hit of the night. And Ethan Santana gets down on the second hop to prevent it from scooting by him. And Larry Infante on an 0-2 pitch hammered it into left field. Larry owns both Kernel hits tonight, and the Kernels have the go-ahead run at first with 1 out. Here in the 8th inning, Dallas Morris, the batter. Larry Infante went the other way with the right-handed submariner and scalded a base hit into left. 1 on, 1 out for Dallas Morris. Dallas, nothing for 2 so far tonight. Infante running, a swing and a miss. Throw to second. Larry is safe. Larry Infante has stolen second. A hit and run. Dallas waved at a pitch low and outside, trying to protect Larry Infante. He did. The throw by Jeff Howell was to the right field side of second. Larry Infante has his 4th stolen base of the year, and the Kernels now have the go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Dallas Morris swung and missed at a pitch low and outside to protect Larry Infante. Time is called as Chris Hayes was into his windup, and Clint Fagan, the plate umpire, called time. Chris Hayes in 34 1/3 innings has allowed only 27 hits, struck out 27 in 34 1/3, walked only 6. A breaking pitch in the dirt smothered by Jeff Howell to prevent Larry Infante, the go-ahead run in this game, from advancing to third. Just a phenomenal season for the Kernels in terms of pitching. Here we are embroiled in a 0-0 game in the top of the 8th inning with the go-ahead run, Larry Infante at second. The 1-1 to Dallas Morris. And it's fouled off to the right, out of play. 1-2 to Dallas. The catcher, Jeff Howell, trots the new baseball back to the mound. Chris Hayes, 2-2, 4 saves, a 1.57 ERA. He's on in relief for the starter, Carlos Rosa. Rosa cannot win his 7th game of the year, cannot lose his 5th. Let's see if Dallas Morris can drive in Larry Infante to break this scoreless game in the 8th inning. The right-hander steps off. Chris Hayes wears his royal blue socks up high. The Bees have royal blue caps with bright yellow bills. Dallas grounds it to second. Down to get it is Arce. On to first for the out. On to third goes Larry Infante. Dallas Morris grounds out to second. 2 gone, and the batter, Stantrell Smith. Let's see if the Kernels try to squeeze the run home or try to steal home. Chris Hayes pitched 3 scoreless innings against us in our ballpark earlier this month of June and picked up one of his 4 saves. Strike 1 called to Stantrell Smith. Boy, it'd be nice if the Kernels could somehow, if Stantrell Smith could somehow drive home Larry Infante with the go-ahead run in this game. Stantrell waves at a breaking pitch, strike 2. He would have needed a telephone pole to hit that pitch, a breaking ball from Chris Hayes, who definitely has the upper hand now ahead of Stantrell Smith. No balls, 2 strikes. Chris Hayes is a submariner. Larry Infante at third, 2 out. And did Stantrell hold up in time? Yes, says the base umpire. Ike Boykins. Stantrell Smith almost chased that breaking pitch like he did the pitch before. He'll probably get another one of those floaters from down under, from the submariner. Chris Hayes comes set. Larry Infante at third. Ball 2 is outside. Yes, it was. Another breaking pitch from the right-hander. Stantrell Smith in 33 games, batting .202, no homers, 9 RBIs. There's a shot into right, a base hit. Infante scores. Stantrell Smith stops at first, and the Kernels lead it 1-0. Stantrell Smith took the submariner the other way, laced a 2-out RBI single on a 2-2 pitch into right, chases home Larry Infante, and the Kernels own a 1-0 lead. Stantrell Smith with his 10th RBI, laced a single into right. Larry Infante scores, and the Kernels lead it here in the 8th inning, 1-0. 1-0 Kernels. How about his biggest hit as a Kernel? Stantrell Smith lined it into right, and that gives the Kernels the lead here in the 8th inning. Oh, what a big hit for Stantrell Smith. And he's at first for Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn has walked his last 2 times up. Kuhn is 0 for 1. 1-0 Kernels here in the 8th inning. Stantrell running. The pitch outside. The throw to second. Not in time. Stantrell Smith with a feet-first slide ahead of the throw by Jeff Howell. Stantrell Smith just drove in the go-ahead run in this game, and now he's in scoring position for Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn will try to drive in Stantrell, and also Brad will try to extend his hitting streak to 20 games. The 1-0 from Hayes. A tap to second. In is Arce. He gloves it, throws out Brad Kuhn to end the inning. Brad Kuhn taps out to second. The Kernels score the game's only run so far on a clutch 2-out single by number 9 hitter Stantrell Smith. 1 run in the 8th for the Kernels on 2 base hits, 2 stolen bases. There were no B errors. The Kernels leave a runner aboard and have stranded 3. Nick Adenhart has a cherished run with which to work. He's back to the hill for the bottom of the 8th. Kernels lead the Bees 1-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with them?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Stantrell Smith facing right-hander Chris Hayes, a submariner on a 2-2 pitch. Laced a single with Larry Infante at third and 2 out in the top of this 8th inning to drive home Larry. And the Kernels have given Nick Adenhart a run with which to work. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 1-0 Kernels. Nick Adenhart has really had to pitch out of some tough situations the last 2 innings to keep it a scoreless game before the Kernels scored the game's only run in the top of this inning. Ethan Santana in the 6th inning reached on an infield single with 2 out. Jose Duarte singled into second. Valentino Arce walked to load the bases, but Nick Adenhart got Carlos Arroyo to fly to center. Nick walked speedster Mario Lasone to open the B7th. Lasone was bunted successfully, sacrificed to second, but Nick Adenhart got both Brady Everett and Jeff Howell to end that inning, and the 2-out line drive single into right by Stantrell Smith, scoring Larry Infante with the night's only run so far, the difference in the game. Here's Chris McConnell, the shortstop, taking strike 1 on the outside corner. 1-0 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning here in Burlington. Jeff Howell Chris McConnell is flown to left and fouled to catcher Flint Whipke. He swings at a terrific changeup from Nick Adenhart, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Chris McConnell. McConnell batting .175, 20-year-old from New Jersey. And he bounces one to Mark Trumbo. Mark gloves it and underhands to Nick Adenhart perfectly for the first out of the 8th inning. Chris McConnell chops out to first. 1 gone, and the batter here in the 8th with the Kernels leading 1-0 is Ethan Santana. Ethan Santana now the batter. Ethan singled off the glove of Mark Trumbo with 2 out. His last time up, that was in the 6th inning. There's a fastball from Nick Adenhart in for a strike. A clutch 2-out hit by Stantrell Smith, plating Larry Infante, and giving the Kernels a 1-0 lead in the top of this inning, the 8th. We're in the bottom of the 8th. A roundhouse curve was called high by Clint Fagan, the plate umpire, and it's 1-1 to Ethan Santana. Nick winds and delivers. Fastball at the knees, inside corner, strike 2 called. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ethan Santana. The level of play we've seen here the first 2 nights in Burlington, I'll put it up against any major league game, any of them. The level of concentration, focus, fun, intensity, competitive drive from both teams. Every bit as good or better than Big League Baseball. Swing and a tip foul by Santana keeps him alive. The 1-2 from Adenhart is a fastball upstairs. Ethan Santana batting .244 on the year. 5 for 15 against the Kernels. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. A breaking pitch in on the hands of Ethan Santana. And there are 2 out here in the eighth inning. Strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Nick Adenhart. 6 strikeouts for the Colonel right-hander. Now he'll face the leadoff batter, Jose Duarte, who singled sharply to the right of Mark Trumbo into right field his last time up. Duarte takes ball 1 high. 1-0 Kernels, and we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The outfield plays Duarte to hit to pull slightly. A breaking pitch is high and into the right-handed batter. Ball 2. Nick Adenhart, first in the league in wins, second in the league in innings pitched to teammate Tommy Mendoza, third in the league in strikeouts, third in the league with the third lowest ERA. Pumps in a strike call, the fastball. Nick and tomorrow's starter Stephen Merrick, a phenomenal combined record of 17-3. Now time is called. Our second baseball fun fact will come your way when the Colonels bat in the 9th inning. We shared with you the readers' poll from the 1996 Omaha World Herald. The readers voted for their all-time College World Series team. There's a curve in for a strike, and Jose Duarte turns his back on the plate umpire, steps out. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes to Jose Duarte. Duarte, a right-handed batter, waiting for the Colonel right-hander's 2-2, and he rams it foul on the line over Burlington's first base dugout. Base is empty, 2 out. Home half of the 8th inning, 1-0 Colonels. The 2-2 pitch. Missed low and outside, ball 3. Nick Adenhart stands straight up on the hill, thrusts his arms behind his head, and the 3-2. Low in the dirt, ball 4, a curveball. That walk, only the 3rd surrendered by Nick tonight, and it puts the tying run aboard with 2 out. Jose Duarte. Let's see if Jim Gabella has his runner going. Duarte has 16 steals. He's only been caught 4 times. Monday, July 3rd, the Colonels will be wearing vintage 1906 Cedar Rapids Bunnies uniforms. They'll be auctioned off during the game. The runner not going, and ball 1 high to Valentino Arce. Arce walked his last time up to load the bases with 2 out in the 6th inning. Nick Adenhart, though, got Carlos Arroyo to fly to center to keep the game scoreless at that time. The runner not going. Now he is. A throw to second, and Larry Infante has it dribble underneath his glove into center field. The runner goes to third, and he stops there. Oh, brother, we had the runner at second. If Larry Infante could have held on to the low throw in the dirt, he could not. And a stolen base for Duarte, and an error on Flint Whiskey, the catcher. His throw was in the dirt. Stolen base number 17 out of 21 attempts, and then a throwing error on Flint Whiskey. The ball got underneath Larry Infante's glove and went into center field. Ooh, a 2-out walk, a stolen base, and a throwing error by the catcher. And now Kernan Ronan is going to have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Nick Adenhart. Oh, brother, those 2-out walks, and then a throw on a delayed steal. Had Flint Whiskey's throw been on target, that is in the air on the fly, Arce would have been out. He would have been out if Larry Infante could have gotten the throw, dug it out of the dirt, but Larry couldn't. And as a result, Valentino Arce, ahead 2-0, is going to try to tie this game here in the 8th inning. The 2-0 pitch, strike 1 called. It just doesn't get more exciting or more harrowing, however you want to describe the situation here in Burlington. Tying run at third, 2 out, bottom of the 8th. Nick Adenhart from the stretch delivers. In the dirt, blocked by Whipke. Blocked, it rolls to the right. Flint blocked it. Ball 3 to the batter. Ball 3 to the batter. Flint Whipke just saved the tying run from scoring as Jose Duarte guarded about 10 feet down the third baseline beyond his lead, and Nick Adenhart broke in to cover home plate, holding at third, Jose Duarte. It's now 3 balls, 1 strike to the .224 hitting Valentino Arce. The 3-1 pitch grounded to short. Heinley Stacia has it, throws in time. Nick Adenhart has done it again. Nick Adenhart prevents the Bees from scoring as he gets Valentino Arce to wrap out to short with the tying run at third and 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Heinley Stacia threw out Valentino Arce to end the inning. Whew. No runs for the Bees in the bottom of the 8th. No hits, a walk, a stolen base, 1 Colonel error. And the Bees leave 1, and they've stranded 4. Boy, could we use some insurance runs in the 9th inning. After 8 here at Community Field, it's still the Kernels 1 and the Bees nothing. You're enjoying Kernel on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, yep, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Flint Whipke opens up the Colonel ninth by hitting a humpback liner off the end of his bat. It's caught by the shortstop, Chris McConnell. 1 away. We're in the top of the 9th. The Colonels have Ryan Aldridge warming up down the right field line in the bullpen. Flint Whipke with a soft liner to short off of the reliever Chris Hayes, who surrendered the game's only run on a 2-out base hit into right by Stantrell Smith in the 8th inning. Heinley Stacia whistles the first pitch foul off to the left. Heinley in the hole 0-1. We're in the top of the 9th inning, 1-0 Kernels. The Submariner flings in a fastball below the knees, ball 1 to Heinley. You're enjoying the action here from Community Field in Burlington on 1450 KMRY Cedar Rapids. Ball 2 low to Heinley Stacia, who's 0 for 3. Larry Infante singled with 1 out in the 8th inning in the scoreless game, stole second, went to third on a Dallas Morris ground out to second, and then scored on the Stantrell Smith 2-strike RBI single into right. Strike 2 to Heinley. Called. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Heinley Stacia. Outfield plays him straight away, and a fastball is in tight. Ball 3 to Stacia. 1-0 Kernels here in the top of the 9th inning with Ryan Aldridge getting ready in the bullpen. Stacia pounds the 3-2 pitch foul past third. Count remains full to Heinley. Chris Hayes, Hayes. He's been tough this year. Kernels did score the go-ahead run against him, though, in the 8th inning. Heinley waits on an off-speed submarine delivery and fouls it into the net above the third base seats. that are elevated about 6 feet off the ground here at Community Field. 4 rows of brand new green box seats. Ball 4 just inside. The crowd cheers at the plate umpire. Clint Fagan. Heinley Stacia has a big one-out walk for the Kernels here in the 9th inning. Heinley Stacia's aboard at first with 1 out, and the batter, Mark Trumbo. Let's see if Heinley will be running. Our baseball fun fact, highlighting the 2 players with the most pinch hit home runs in a season, and they're both recent. In the year 2000, Dave Hansen of the Dodgers hit 7 pinch hit home runs. A year later, the Pirates' Craig Wilson also came off the bench and as a pinch hitter hit 7 pinch hit home runs. Wow. Stacia's running. A pitch low, a ball, the throw to second. Heinley is a goner on a head-first slide. He was tagged out by second baseman Valentino Arce. It took a good throw from Jeff Howell right on the bag. It went 2-4, and Heinley Stacia's caught trying to steal second. 2 away here in the Colonel 9th inning. 1-0 Kernels. Ball 1 low to Mark Trumbo. Now a sweeping curve over but low. It's 2-0 to Mark. So National Leaguers Craig Wilson, 2001 for the Pirates, and fellow National Leaguer Dave Hansen of the Dodgers, both tied for the all-time record for number of pinch hits in a year. 7 pinch hit home runs. I meant pinch hit home runs, not just hits. Ball 3, I don't know where that pitch was. It looked very good to the Colonel cleanup batter, Mark Trumbo. 3-1 to Mark. Hayes delivers. Strike 2 at the knees, inside corner to Mark Trumbo. Mark has struck out twice, bounced out to second. He's a .217 hitting Colonel cleanup batter, playing for the first time since Friday night in Fort Wayne. The 3-2. Outside, ball 4, Mark Trumbo walks. Back-to-back walks issued by right-hander Chris Hayes. Heinley Stacia walked moments ago and then was caught trying to steal second. Here's Josh Davies. Want to say hello to Josh's sister Amy down in Australia. Amy, I got your email a while back, and I'm so happy that you enjoyed listening to the Colonel games. In fact, I'm thrilled that you're tuned in down in Australia, where it is just past 11 o'clock Wednesday morning. Strike 1 to Josh Davies. Just past 11 in the morning, Wednesday morning in Australia. They're 14 hours ahead of us. Davies, a right-handed hitter, lays off a submarine delivery inside from right-hander Chris Hayes. Chris wears a long-sleeve royal blue shirt underneath his white Burlington home top. Brian Aldridge has stopped throwing in the Colonel bullpen. The 1-1 to Josh. Ooh, a curve just inside, ball 2. This submariner Chris Hayes reminds you a lot of the all-time Royal great submariner Dan Quisenberry, the late Dan Quisenberry, passed on from a brain tumor. Trumbo running and a bouncer to first. Good idea by Bobby Magianis. It's fielded by Miguel Vega, who steps on the base to end the inning. Josh Davies, had he poked it just a few feet further left, would have had himself his second hit-and-run single in less than a week. But Davies did his job with Trumbo running. He put the ball in play, hit it to the right side of the B infield, but swatted it on one hop to the first baseman, Miguel Vega, who made the play unassisted. No runs for the Bees or for the Kernels in the 9th inning. No hits, 2 walks. There were no there were no B errors. The Kernels leave 1 man aboard. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Kernels will send in closer Ryan Aldridge. We're going to keep it right here. This U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen, sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Let's give you the final line on Nick Adenhart, who can win his 10th of the year. He will not lose his 3rd. Nick pitched 8 shutout innings. gave the Bees in 8 innings, no runs on 3 hits. Nick Adenhart struck out 6. Nick, let me double check on that strikeout total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nick walked 3, hit none. And Ryan Aldridge has answered the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Ryan last pitched Sunday in a Colonel 13-inning loss in Fort Wayne. He gave up a leadoff home run to Will Venable in the top of the ninth or bottom of the 9th inning that tied the game. Ryan pitched an inning and a third Sunday afternoon in Fort Wayne, allowed no runs. Check that, allowed 1 run on 1 hit. Allowed 1 run on 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 1. It's the heart of the B order here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Burlington in a 1-1 game last night, won it in the bottom of the 9th inning. Kernels lead tonight 1-0 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Carlos Arroyo, a left-handed batter, facing relief pitcher, closer Ryan Aldridge. Ryan rocks, and his first pitch. Fastball high and outside, ball 1. Ryan Aldridge. Facing left-handed, hitting Carlos Arroyo here to open up the B 9th inning. Ball 2, high and outside, a fastball. Nick Adenhart, 8 innings pitched, no runs, 3 hits, 6 strikeouts, 3 walks. Let's see if Arroyo is swinging or taking on this 2-0 pitch from Ryan Aldridge. He takes a fastball for a strike called. Ryan is 1-2 on the year with a team-high 14 saves, a 3.34 ERA. Aldridge leads the Kernels in appearances. He's on for the 31st time, and Arroyo hacks the 2-1 pitch foul way down the left side. Strike 2 to Carlos Arroyo. Ryan Aldridge, 14 saves, has pitched 35 innings, struck out 50 batters in 35 innings, walked only 14. Ryan has allowed 26 hits in 35 innings. 1-0 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning, and the leadoff batter, Carlos Arroyo, awaits the 2-2 pitch from Aldridge. And he bounces it to third. Dallas Morris has it. The long throw to first in time. 1 away here in the B 9th inning. Oh, Carlos Arroyo bounced it to Dallas Morris, who's played an outstanding game. I mean an outstanding game at third tonight. Dallas Morris had to glove that one to his left, and on to first it went. 1 out as Ryan Aldridge tries to save his 15th and help Nick Adenhart win his 10th game. Mario Lasone is now the batter. Kernels trying to get back to the 500 mark. A slider just low to the right-handed batter, Mario Lasone. 1 out here in the B 9th inning. 1-0 Kernels. A high pop foul, and that one will be beyond the reach of Flint Whipke, the catcher, and first baseman Mark Trumbo. Strike 1 on Mario Lasone. Yet another 1-run game that the Kernels are involved in. This is the 29th 1-run game we've played out of 76. I don't know if that's a record, but I would guess it would be. 1-1 to Mario Lasone. Strike 2 called on the outside corner from flame-throwing Colonel right-hander Ryan Aldridge. He's trying to save it for Nick Adenhart. He's ahead of the number 3 hitter, Mario Lasone, who walked his last time up, 1-2. Lasone takes strike 3 called. Mario Lasone is caught looking 2 away here in the B 9th inning. 1-0 Kernels, and with 2 out and nobody on, Miguel Vega will bat. Miguel Vega will bat with 2 out and the bases empty here in the B 9th inning. Again, Ryan Aldridge is trying to save it for Nick Adenhart. It's 1-0 Kernels. A high fly ball off the end of the bat, stroked into the Colonel right field bullpen, and Nobody can get to it. Chased by Stantrell Smith, the right fielder, Mark Trumbo, the first baseman, and Larry Infante. 1 strike to Miguel Vega. 1-0 Kernels, a 2-out, 2-strike line drive single by Stantrell Smith in the 8th inning has drove home Larry Infante with the game's sole run. Breaking ball, strike 2 called to Vega. And now Ryan Aldridge is 1 out and 1 strike away from helping the Kernels even this series at a game apiece. Will Aldridge come right after Vega? Yes, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. A thrilling 1-0 Kernel win here tonight. Ryan Aldridge strikes out Miguel Vega and helps Nick Adenhart earn his league-high 10th win of the year. It is an ecstatic group of Kernels that congratulate each other between the mound and second base as Ryan Aldridge comes in and gets 3 outs without any sweat in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Bees go in order, and the Kernels behind Nick Adenhart's 8 shutout innings and Ryan Aldridge's 15th save of the year have beaten Burlington 1-0 here tonight. 1-0 Kernels. Another thrilling game, and we'll be back with the totals, highlights, and more next on the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe. From me to you, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this. Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. I'm a pepper. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action. Let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
What a pleasure it was to bring you such a fantastic ball game tonight. 1-0 Kernels to even this series at a game apiece. The Kernels now climb back to the 500 mark in the season's second half at 3 wins and 3 losses, and this was the kind of game that really you feel just a privilege to watch. It was that well-pitched and well-ordered by the starters, Carlos Rosa for the Bees, and Kernel starter, now league-leading winner, 10-game winner, Nick Adenhart. The Kernels didn't get their first hit of the night until Larry Infante's leadoff single in the 3rd inning, but he was erased in a double play. Likewise, Nick Adenhart surrendered a hit in the early going, a 1-out single to Miguel Vega in the B's 2nd inning, but Nick himself deflected a pitch hit up the middle by Brady Everett to Larry Infante, who then began a 1-4-6-3 double play. Nick Adenhart pitched so well. In fact, he set the Bees down in order in the 1st inning, gave up the 1-out single to Vega in the 2nd inning, but the double play followed. Nick then retired Burlington in order in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings. So he retired 10, 11, 12 straight. Nick Adenhart had retired, well, let's double-check that, 3, 6, 9, 11. Yes, Nick Adenhart had retired 12 straight before Efi and Santana reached on an infield single with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Jose Duarte then singled to right to push Santana the go-ahead run in a scoreless game to second. Then Valentino Arce walked to load the bases, but Nick Adenhart calmly pitched to Carlos Arroyo, who is 9 for 22 against the Kernels this year, had 3 hits last night, and drove in the game-winning run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Carlos Arroyo was retired by Nick Adenhart on a fly ball into center to end that bases-loaded 2-out threat by the Bees in the 6th inning. The Bees then got a leadoff walk from Mario Lasone in the 7th inning. Miguel Vega bunted the speedster to second, but Nick Adenhart retired Brady Everett on a fly ball to right and got Jeff Howell to bounce out to first to end that Burlington scoring threat. The Kernels, meanwhile, put their leadoff man on in the 4th, Brad Kuhn, who walked. Brad did have his 19-game hitting streak snapped tonight, but I'll bet he'll start a new one tomorrow. After the walk to Kuhn, Carlos Rosa got the next 3 Kernels. Rosa hit Larry Infante with 2 out in the 5th inning, but got Dallas Morris to fly out to deep right. And then Brad Kuhn drew a 1-out walk in the 6th inning, but he was erased after stealing second, his league-high 28th steal of the year. Kuhn was erased on a strike-him-out, throw-him-out double play to end the 6th inning. In the 8th inning, with submariner Chris Hayes on the hill taking over for starter Carlos Rosa, Valentino Arce robbed Jordan Renz of a leadoff infield single with a fantastic play behind second on a chopper. Larry Infante, though, on a 2-strike pitch, ripped a single into left field. Larry reached in all 3 of his plate appearances tonight. Infante stole second, and after Dallas Morris grounded out to second, advancing Larry to third, Stantrell Smith came through with a monumentally important clutch 2-strike, 2-out RBI single to right. Infante scored to make it 1-0 Kernels. In the bottom of the 8th inning, Nick Adenhart surrendered a 2-out walk to Jose Duarte. He stole second. Flint Whipke's throw went underneath the glove of Larry Infante into center field, allowing the tying run to go to third. But Nick Adenhart got Valentino Arce to ground out to short to end that 8th inning threat. In the bottom of the 9th inning, with the Kernels leading 1-0, Ryan Aldridge came on and preserved Nick Adenhart's 10th win of the year by getting a ground ball out to third by Carlos Arroyo, and then a strike 3 looking on Mario Lasone. Miguel Vega struck out on a Ryan Aldridge 0-2 slider. Ryan Aldridge struck out 2, walked none, allowed no hits, and he saved it for Nick Adenhart. Just a fantastic, beautiful game to watch. 1-0 Kernels. The final line score, the Kernels 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. We left 4. The Bees, no runs, 3 hits, no errors. They stranded 4. Nick Adenhart, the winner. He's 10-2. Ryan Aldridge, the save, his 15th of the year. The loser was reliever Chris Hayes. He's 2-3. The game only took 2 hours and 7 minutes, and I would estimate we had a crowd of about 750. 1-0 Kernels. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith, Giuseppe Florentino? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for il Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta.
Welcome back to Community Field, where the Kernels win a cliffhanger before, well, my estimate of a crowd of 750 was a bit high, before a crowd of 663 here tonight at Community Field in a game that only took 2 hours and 7 minutes. Nick Adenhart, a 3-hit, 8-inning performance, backed up by stellar 9th-inning relief for Ryan Aldridge, who notches his 15th save, and the Kernels win another one-run game, play another one-run game, win a one-run game, 1-0. The Kernels are now 12-17 in one-run games. 29 of our 76 games have been one-run contests. PRC is proud to support the communities where their employees live and work, and PRC brings us the Kernel play of the game. With this game scoreless in the top of the 8th inning, Larry Infante singled with 1 out. He stole third. It was just the Kernel's second hit of the night. It came off submariner Chris Hayes, who was in his first inning of relief. Infante was at second with 1 out. Dallas Morris advanced Larry to third with a ground ball out to second, and Stantrell Smith stood in from his number 9 hole in the Kernel order, trying to give the Kernels the go-ahead run. Here's our PRC play of the game. Larry Infante leading away from third. 2 out. Stantrell Smith, 2-0-2 hitter. Even on the count, 2-2. Hayes, the submariner, brings it. There's a line drive, base hit into right field, and the Kernels take the lead. Here in the 8th inning, Larry Infante scores. Stantrell Smith comes through with a big clutch 2-out, 2-strike run-scoring single as he laced it into right field. Driving home Larry Infante, 1-0 Kernels, and let's see if that one run is enough to hold up behind Nick Adenhart. Stantrell Smith, an RBI single to right, cut his stroke down, laced it into right on a 2-strike, 2-out pitch to drive home Infante, and it's 1-0 Kernels here in the top of the 8th inning. Huge clutch single to drive home Infante by Stantrell Smith. That's our PRC play of the game. Stantrell Smith, an RBI single, driving home Larry Infante with the night's only run in the top of the 8th inning. PRC sponsoring our play of the game. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. Their benefit package is out of this world. It's called Life Essentials and includes a casual dress code, paid training, a 401k retirement savings plan, flexible schedule, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all a part of the Life Essential benefit package at PRC. If you're looking for a career opportunity with a company with a great heart, contact PRC at www.prcnet.com. That's our PRC play of the game in this Kernel 1-0 win. Nick Adenhart's now 10-2. Ryan Aldridge notches his 15th save. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Kernel Curtain Call with a complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
The Kernels win a dramatic 1-0 game in Burlington to even this 3-game series at a game apiece. They do it behind 8 brilliant innings from Nick Adenhart, who struck out 6, walked 3, and allowed only 3 hits. The Kernels got a big 2-out, 2-strike RBI single in the top of the 8th from Stantrell Smith, who drove home Larry Infante with the game's only run. The Kernel record now in the second half is even, 3 wins, 3 losses. We move on to the third segment of the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network, and it's time to check scores. Interleague play abounding. The only non-interleague game on the State Farm Major League scoreboards at Wrigley Field, and we'll get to that in a moment. State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, and Al Shetler bring us this look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Detroit continues their winning ways. Boy, the Tigers are having a season for the ages, aren't they, with Jimmy Leland, the feel-good story of the 2006 campaign. The Tigers whipped the Astros 4-0 at Comerica Park tonight. The Twins continue their recent, well, check that. We'll get to the Twin game at the Metrodome in a moment. Interleague play at Yankee Stadium, it was the Braves scalping the Yankees 4-1 tonight. And in the bragging rights game of the Sunshine State of Florida at Dolphin Stadium in Miami, it was the Marlins harpooning the Devil Rays 8-4. A final from Pittsburgh. The Pirates bowed to the red-hot White Sox. The White Sox beat the Pirates 4-2. The Phillies in Baltimore were postponed due to rain at Camden Yards. A final from Rogers Center, the former Sky Dome in Toronto. It was the Blue Jays blanking the Nationals 6-0 tonight. A wild one at Great America Ballpark. The parent club of our opponents in this series, the Bees, the Kansas City Royals in the Queen City of Cincinnati, nipped the Reds 9-8. Now, let's get to those red-hot Twins. They're in the top of the eighth in a rematch of the 1965 World Series with the Dodgers. The Twins are ahead of the Dodgers 9-2 in the top of the eighth inning at the Metrodome. The Indians are trying to hand the Cardinals their eighth loss in a row in the top of the seventh at Busch Stadium. The Tribe leads the Redbirds 2-1. And in the top of the ninth inning at Fenway Park, match of the 1986 Fall Classic between the Mets and Red Sox, Boston's leading the Mets 9-2 at Fenway in the top of the ninth inning. The Brewers, in the only non-interleague game, are playing the Cubs at Wrigley Field, and it's Milwaukee in the top of the eighth, leading the Cubs 4-3. Bottom of the second inning, we've got the makings of a slugfest in an interleague game between the Diamondbacks and Mariners. Seattle leads the Diamondbacks 5-4 at Chase Ballpark in Phoenix. They're only in the bottom of the second inning. In San Diego, in the bottom of the first inning, the Athletics 0, the Padres 0. It's the Rockies and Angels, our parent club, the Angels, scoreless in the bottom of the first at Angel Stadium in Anaheim. And Texas is batting in the top of the first inning at AT&T Ballpark in San Francisco. They're just underway, no score. State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat bring us that look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, following a Colonel 1-0 shutout win here tonight in Burlington. What a game it was. Nick Adenhart battled Carlos Rosa for 7 innings before Rosa handed it over to submariner Chris Hayes. Hayes gave up a pair of hits, one of them a 2-out, 2-strike RBI single by Colonel number 9 hitter Stantrell Smith to drive home Larry Infante. And that was the difference in tonight's game. Nick Adenhart allowed no runs in 8 innings on only 3 hits. He posted his 10th win of the year, and Ryan Aldridge retired the Bees in order in the bottom of the 9th inning to preserve the win, his 15th save of the season. Final score here from southeastern Iowa with the Kernels 1, Burlington 0. Tomorrow evening we'll conclude the 7-game road trip to Fort Wayne in Burlington with the rubber game of our 3-game series against Burlington. The Colonel win tonight snapped a 4-game winning streak by the Bees over our ball club and sets up the third and deciding game of the series tomorrow evening. We'll have it for you in the zone. We'll be in the zone tomorrow, Wednesday night, here in Burlington, a 6:40 South Slope Communications Triple Play Show tomorrow evening, 6:40, the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show time here from Community Field in Burlington, where the Kernels will try to win the series with 8-game winner Stephen Merrick on the hill. The final score again here from Burlington, the Kernels 1, the Bees 0. This has been Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.